Alrighty, so for setting up an exam, you'll usually have your protocols in here. If you select one and click apply, once you click OK, then it'll set up your injector, and then you'll be able to start. It'll have a play button like this, so you can start it, you can pause it, and then if you want to back out, you can click return. Once you get to this page, if you need to change any of these for any reason, say we need to inject 100 milliliters at 3 seconds, we can go ahead and type that in, and that will go ahead and save right there, and you'll get the updated time as well. And then if you ever want to save, you can just click that save button and it'll go ahead and create a list for you. And then if you ever need to add, say we don't have an exam over here, you can come up here, click the add button, and you can basically build your own by clicking in here. Once you have that built, you can go ahead and click save. You can do whatever you need to. So when we're setting up something as well, whenever you come in here, if you need to put a pause in between, so say you're going to start a test injection of 20 milliliters, then you want to pause, and then you want to add your contrast and then your flush afterwards, all you have to do is come in here, or come in here first. It'll pop this up, and then down here you'll have a pause. So you can put in a pause time, or you can just do manual pause. Click OK, it'll give you that red bar in between. And then when you type in your contrast, it'll keep that bar there. Now if you don't want the pause, then you can just go straight on to your saline. And you see there's not a bar there. So that bar is going to mean a pause. This means after the 30 milliliters are done, it's going to go straight into the saline flush. So once you get the patient set up, we're going to go ahead and do the test injection. And once you click this, then you're going to see it's going to start flowing. We want to make sure to that. And then once you click that other button, you're going to see the contrast flowing. Down here you got your pressure limit, so it'll tell you if it's going up too fast or not. Now we have 2 lines here. The second one's where the contrast actually is. So as you can see right there, 80 milliliters of contrast is in, and now we're starting to push the rest of the saline. And now everything's completely in. It's going to tell you disconnect patient tubing, and you're going to have a flashing red light. And that just basically means that we're done injecting. So if we needed to, say, switch from injector 1 to injector 2, you just click this button, and it'll say contrast media 2 is selected. You go continue. And then now we're set over here. If you click on this button, then it's basically allowing you to manually start the contrast. So if I press this button, then it's gonna start pushing out of there, and it's gonna let you know how much and how fast you're injecting. You can always end that. We can switch back to contrast media 1, and that's how you switch back and forth between the two. Now, if we need to change one of these, say it's empty, this one's about half full, then what you can do is click on here. It'll tell you to disconnect. It'll say which one do you want to select. If we select here, then basically what we'll do is we'll push this off to the side, and then this whole thing slides down. You're able to pull this off, and then you're gonna just slide it back up. This gray plastic part is gonna clip in and pop up. Once it does that, then you can go ahead and put the new bottle in, and you're just gonna push straight down onto the new spike. If you need to replace the spike, you just pop this off. Make sure to clamp it, untie here, and then you can put in a new spike. Once you do that, it's gonna walk you through how to vent and rinse a new bottle. So if we are selecting a new one to replace, we'll go ahead and click this. We'll say it's a new container, and it'll say okay. If we ever need to change this, say it's 300 instead of 350, these buttons will go ahead and change it. 300 single, 350 single, 320. You can also go up to 350 or 300. We're using 350 right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and say okay. It's gonna start venting. And once that's done, you're gonna click rinse, and that's just gonna get some saline through that line so it's not all sticky. And then once that's done rinsing, it usually goes for a while. Once it's done rinsing, then it'll give you the green okay, and you're able to continue on. Now, if you ever need to turn it off, if you just click that button on the side, it'll go ahead and shut off. Over here, if you need to open up this paneling, it'll tell you hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once we do that, you can open the cover, you can drain down, or you can stop. Drain down is going to get rid of all the liquid in here. If we just want to open it, and we're able to pop it open. So if you do need to come in here, these should be loose, and it'll tell you as well how to make sure that this is inserted. Make sure that the tube lining's right about here, and it'll go ahead and clip in, and it'll link it all the way through here and get it running. And then once you're done, all you have to do is close it, press real hard, and then once you do, it'll start running it again. And right now it's telling you the pump tubing's being fixed, so you can see how it wasn't disconnected, but if it was disconnected, then you can do that, and you can attach your contrast media 1, 2, and 3. As you see, they're all red, so every single time you open it, it's gonna do this, and then all you have to do is click play and just make sure everything looks right. Yep, we're rocking all those, and then it's just gonna start filling. It'll fill this one, it'll fill contrast media 1, then it'll fill contrast media 2, but I'm not gonna make you sit through that. Some common issues you may see whenever setting this up is you may see patient tubing not inserted properly. That basically just means over here, we didn't push it into the side here. So you get your little doohickey button pusher, push up against it real firm, and then once it's all the way in there, then you can restart. And you'll get that go ahead okay. Another issue you may see is you'll start it and it'll say something like air in tubing, And basically what that'll probably mean is whenever you set up one of your new, either your contrast media or your saline, you didn't unclip this part. And so what I do, I don't know if it's the necessary right way to do it, but what I'll do is I'll just shut it off, turn it back on, kind of restart it. You'll have to redo each one. And to insert the new tubing, all you have to do is once you take it out of here, then you'll go ahead and tie the purple to purple, slide it through both of these, once again making sure that that top one's fully pressed in. And then all I do is set up this orange cap. You can, if you pull it tight all the way, it'll shoot the contrast down. Some people like having a little bit of slack and it'll sit kind of on the side there. But if you pull it straight up, it should just empty right into this cap. And then once you do that, come over, it'll make you click this top right button and then the play button. And once you do that, it'll go ahead and start filling up the patient tubing, and then you're ready to select your protocol on the main screen. If you ever have any major issues with this, I want you to check a few things. One, make sure that the tubing's actually pressed in there. 2, make sure that this isn't clamped. 3, make sure that that's in there, and this one's fully pressed in there. And then once you get all of those, that's going to be your main problem. Sometimes these little rotors in here will get sticky and won't be able to turn. So all you need to do is get some warm water, try and push it in there, and try and rotate it as much as possible. Eventually they'll start breaking loose. And then once you do that, then you'll be okay.